and he used to recite a couplet before us, and that was एक साल गया एक साल नया है आने को, एक साल गया एक साल नया है आने को, पर वक्त का अभी होश नहीं दीवाने को. Good morning, my name is Mohammad Tariq, and this video is for the partial fulfillment of the requirements of faculty induction program at HRDC. This is to acknowledge that this video is also with a special reference to the threefold advice given by Mr. Gandhi mentioned in Food for Thought, and that is be quick, be brief, and be gone. So in this connection, we'll be talking about time management today. My conversation will be divided into three parts. In the first part, I'll be talking about what is time management, and in the second, I'll be talking about the benefits of time management, and in the third part, I'll be talking about the strategies, different strategies to manage your time. For time management, it is said that time management is a life management. You do not manage your time, rather you manage your life. And people also say that either you manage the day or the day will manage you. And it is not all about better time management, but it is always a better self-management. If you manage your time, you will get to know that time management is a self-management. It is life management. It is personal management. It is the management of yourself. You've reached to a conclusion that if you manage your time, you are more efficient, you are more successful, you are more healthy. If you are managing your time, it appears that you can do your works with great efficacy. You can be more effective. You can create more influence. And if you are managing your time, you can achieve great and greater success. By managing your time, you can keep yourself healthy. You can keep yourself energetic. You can keep your good mood. I think these three things increase the productivity and the chances of success in life that you wish to achieve. So if you manage your time, you can increase your efficacy, you can increase your success, you can I think you can keep your good health. There is a very famous saying that the bad news is that time flies, and the good news is that you are the pilot. So for time management, I have, amongst many, I have selected a couple of obstacles which occur while managing your time. So the first one among a few of them is unclear objectives. So unclear objective appears to be one of the greatest obstacles in managing your time. Let us see what is unclear objective. Unclear objective is something which is not clear, and which is not in proper shape. You don't know what to achieve, so you cannot achieve anything that is not clear. If you don't have any specific target to achieve, you cannot achieve it. And if it is not specific, it is not clear, you can never ever accomplish it. So the first obstacle in my opinion is the unclear objectives, where you do not understand, you do not know the target, the place, the destination to reach. The second obstacle I think is disorganization. Disorganization means you find yourself in a mess and you are not able to manage things around you. Disorganization means falling in a mess where you have so many works and you cannot accomplish them one by one. Disorganization means you are confused what to do first and the other next. And the third obstacle for time management is inability to say no. And I think this is one of the strongest obstacle where people are confused, and where people, I think they are not able to manage how to say no, and when to say no, and where to say no. Here one has to set the priorities so that you could say no, and you could know where to say no, and how to say no, and when to say no. For the problematics of saying no, we get to know that there are three principles that you have to follow. So the first thing that you have to understand is that you have to accept that you cannot do everything. Number one, you have to accept that you cannot do everything. It is not one of your expertise, and it does not fall in the ambit of your reach. So the first thing, you can say that you cannot do everything and it is not in the ambit of your reach. The second thing is that you can say no when you understand that this work or that work cannot be completed within the time frame. You can deny that. The third thing is that you can say no to people, you can say no to yourself. When you start feeling that this does not match to the shorter or larger goal that you have set to yourself in terms of achieving success or in terms of managing your time. So there are three basic principles which you have to understand where you can say no to people. Number one, you can say no to people by saying that you cannot do everything. Number two, you can say no to people when you cannot do something in within the time frame. And number three, when something does not match to your goal, to your objectives that you have set. Now coming to the third part that we promised in the beginning, that was strategies of time management and setting your goals. People say that when you are setting your goal in terms of managing your time, you have to be very specific. Specific means your goal and your objective should be very clear so that you could visualize it. And the second thing that you have to be very careful, that is measurable. You should be able to measure your achievement, like how far you have reached and how much work is left for you. The next one, I think, is your goal and your objective should be achievable. It should not be hypothetical, it should not be unrealistic. The fourth one, I think, your objective should be realistic in nature, and it should have some connection to reality. Lastly, I think it should be and your goal and your objective should be time based. You should set your goals and aims in a way so that you could be able to finish it within the specific time, within the targeted time. As far as strategies of time management is concerned, I always suggest my students that you have to divide all your activities into 4 categories, and that I think is the works which are important and urgent, number 1. Number 2, the works which are important but not urgent. Number 3, urgent but not important. Number 4, not important and not urgent. Coming to the first one, that was important and urgent, we specify that these are the short-term crises and problems where we have to manage them rather than ignoring them. And in the second part that I think was important but not urgent, it is all about long-term and strategic goals where you have to focus, where you have to give more time. I think majority of the scholars say that this part is the most important part of managing your time and managing your activities. And the third one, that was urgent but not important. Here you have so many distractions and interruptions, and it is advised that you have to avoid all the activities which fall in the category of distractions and interruptions. And the fourth one, that was not important and not urgent. And this category is one of the most dangerous categories, and this is where you have to limit yourself. Now we'll be discussing about the key actions to all these 4 categories of activities. So coming to the first one, that was important and urgent. Here we come to know that we can include certain activities such as crisis in your life that you have, deadline driven activities, and medical emergencies, and other true emergencies, pressing problems, and last minute preparations. So the key activity here is to manage. For this you have to manage these things instantly. So the key activity for this category is to manage. Coming to the second part, that was important but not urgent. Here in this category we have certain activities such as preparation and planning, value clarification and empowerment, thinking about the relationship building, the true recreation of things. For these categories of works there is a key activity, that is focus. So for all such activities where you have to plan, where you have to make preparations, where you have to recreate things, where you have to think about policies, you have to, the key activity is to focus. Coming to the third category that we had, that was urgent, that was urgent but not important activities, such as meeting people, socializing, receiving mails, time that you have on social media and internet, and the other things which are not important, the activities which are just distractions and nothing else. For this we come to know that these activities are the activities which distract you from achieving and reaching from achieving your goals and reaching to your destination that you have set. For these categories of works, we have a key activity, that is avoid or use caution. And coming to the fourth category, that was not important and not urgent. Here we as we mentioned in the beginning, that all the activities which appear to be just waste of time and nothing else. And for these type of categories, we have a keyword for key activity, and that is avoid. Totally avoid. If you really wish to manage your time, you should not fall in this trap where you just keep wasting your time and doing nothing. If we analyze intellectually, we come to know that something which is important and urgent is your necessity, and something which is important but not urgent is all about quality and personal leadership. And third, which is urgent but not important, is all about deception, where you get deceived by yourself. And the fourth one is all about waste of your time. So we have to be very careful about all these third and fourth type of activities. There was a friend of mine who was one of the most efficient person in terms of time management, and he used to recite a couplet before us, and that was एक साल गया, एक साल नया है आने को, एक साल गया, एक साल नया है आने को, पर वक्त का अभी होश नहीं दीवाने को. Thank you. This is all for today's talk, and see you in the next video. Have a good day. Thank you.